Seconds. All right, let's go.
Let's
Going
go.
live, and we're live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Gravity Max live stream. Today, I am here with my co-host Sebastian. How are you doing today?
I'm doing quite well. It is a crisp 90 degrees Fahrenheit where I am. My air
And it is
conditioner. Everyone else's air conditioner is going. My air conditioner is not going. I like the hot temperatures, and that actually plays into a lot about what we're talking
yeah.
today. About what we're talking about today.
So wait. So is it actually? How hot is it in your room right now?
In my room is usually around like 80 degrees, I would say.
Jeez.
Say like an average of 80
Oh
degrees.
gosh. Okay.
But obviously because it's hotter outside, it's probably a little warmer in here now. But
Interesting. Yeah. No. Yeah. So it's interesting because that means it's colder where I live, which you would not expect. Because it's only 82 here.
wow.
So, and yeah, when it comes to so this room that I'm in right now, the office and my bedroom are both on the same like thermostat circuit or whatever. And the problem is that I guess this room loses heat quicker than my bedroom, right?
hmm
So when I set the temperature to something comfortable for my bedroom, it's too cold here. And then if I set the temperature to something that's good here, it's too hot in my bedroom. And it's just like,
Wow.
ah, the struggle. Anyway, today we're talking about a very fun topic, a very interesting topic. And yeah, we'll get to that in a second. So let's go through the plugs first. Visit the Gravity Max website at gravitymaxmedia.com. Follow the Gravity Max social media on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon. Links in the description. Also, make use of chat if you have any questions or if you want to just talk to us, make any comments. We'd love to respond to your chat messages. But yeah, also check out our website and social media because that helps you get updates about the show. Next, follow Sebastian on social media, Instagram, and 128 Seconds on YouTube. He makes quick educational videos that are the counterparts to these longer live streams. So if you're a busy man or woman, if you're a busy person on the go, check out 128 Seconds for some quick pieces of knowledge. So yeah, check it out. Make sure to subscribe. Also, a somewhat odd start. My third book is on Amazon, and the link is in the description. It's the sequel to the first two books I wrote, all sci-fi. And if you like sci-fi, then I would highly recommend you check out these books and see my predictions kind of for the future. They're not exactly my predictions for the future, but I think they're somewhat realistic for the given circumstance too, because things happen that like I know haven't happened here yet. But anyway, it's sci-fi. It's fun. Go check it out. But yeah, the spice of life.
The spice of life. Everyone has something. Everyone has something that keeps them going. Whether it's seeing your dog after a long day at work, whether it's an ice cold refreshment on a hot, hot day. Everyone has a small little something that keeps them going. Well, what keeps me going is Takis. I love Takis. I've been a habitual Takis user for about 3 years now. I discovered it in my freshman year of high school. And I've been hooked on them ever since. It's the spice of my life. At one point in time, I was averaging like 3 full bags of Takis a week. I ate nothing but Takis for breakfast. Every breakfast I had for a week and a half was just Takis. I ate other things during the day, but Takis was always at least a third of my daily meals. It's what keeps me going. They've been evolving over time. They have some interesting origins. We're going to talk about them here today.
Yep. And I would like to clarify, Takis are in fact a snack food. So
Yes.
just in case anyone's curious about that.
They are a spicy snack. The most they're the best chips. I've never had better chips than Takis. Cape Cod chips come close. Look at that alliteration. But, you know, some Doritos flavors are alright, but nothing steps to Takis, man. Nothing.
So yeah, Takis are a Mexican originating like food brand, or yeah, brand of food. And so it's pretty interesting. And we're going to talk about the history of Takis and everything else you need to know about them. So yeah, let's get started. So we begin with the history. So Takis were invented, well, we'll get to that later, but there's a long history of Takis because Takis are the product of one company, but that company is a small section of a greater company. It's parent company, and that company has been around for a while. They started in Mexico, and it's a pretty interesting little story here. So yeah, let's just get started.
Sure.
So we begin with Grupo Bimbo. Grupo Bimbo was a bakery in, I believe, Mexico City that started in 1945, just after the end of the Second World War. Yeah, so they started with Panificación Bimbo, which I'm gonna guess panificación means like bread bakery or something. I see the word pan in there, and that's like reminding me of my Spanish days. But yeah, they sold mainly loaves of bread. So they would bake different types of bread, and sell it to people of Mexico City. Again, is my guess. I don't think they do a lot of work in Mexico City now.
I'm pretty sure that's
they don't exactly
origin.
specify when they. Okay, yeah, Mexico City is. Oh yeah, well, their headquarters right now is Mexico City, so I would guess that's where they started as well. Mexico City, interestingly, is the largest city in North America in terms of population. I think also South America, actually, which is bad. Most people would think it's New York, but it's not. It's Mexico City. So, yeah. So that's where they're located. That's where they got started. And yeah, they were just, a small bakery. They made bread. Everyone liked their bread. And slowly, over time, they were able to expand and become this sort of multinational company with an empire of snack foods and various other confectionery, or confectionery means dessert, right? So just other sorts of food items, anything with carbs in it, I guess, right? So yeah, it's a pretty interesting
creepy
place.
logo. So. I'll say it.
Creepy
logo.
Creepy logo. It's like a polar bear, maybe.
I don't know. I don't like it.
I don't know any other kind of bears that are like all white like that.
I don't like it, man. I don't.
You don't like?
Just do
you
not
don't like
like
the
it.
bimbo bear?
I don't like the bimbo bear. Bimbo bear has done something in its past.
Look at those eyes.
Yeah, those eyes tell a story. Something happened involving that bear, bro. I don't trust that thing. But thankfully, out of whatever criminalities this bear may or may not be entangled with, there eventually came the shining light of my life. Which is Takis chips.
So, yeah. So Grupo Bimbo, they were a successful bakery. They bread, but then they went to muffins and buns, and just anything bready, as I said. And so this allowed them to expand into other cities in Mexico and acquire more assets. Just your typical sort of sustained growth story. And eventually, they were able to start a brand called Barcel. So Barcel is a brand within Grupo Bimbo that so the brand began in 1971, as part of the Bimbo company. But then by 1978, it sort of split off and became its own company within the company, which is sort of a weird thing. But, companies own companies. Like we think of Google as a company, but it's not actually Google. It's really Alphabet, right? That's the main example I can think of. Disney too. They own a ton of different companies, so it's that sort of thing. Like Fox Entertainment and Marvel Studios and that kind of thing. So that's the sort of relationship here. So Barcel started off as a brand, but then it became successful enough that it became its own self-contained company that was owned by Grupo Bimbo. And yeah, they focused on snack foods, like sort of junk food. Yeah, but it's everything has its place. Junk food, it's not a good term. It's only in excess, right? That it can be a bad thing. But it's if it's every once in a while, it's like this is a treat, then it's fine, right? So that's what they focused on, right? So-called junk food, right? Snack foods, let's say, that's more positive, right? So yeah, that's Barcel. And if you have anything to add, feel free.
It's always very impressive. I love my favorite trope. It's not really a trope, I guess more so as an element of storytelling of the character arc. To compare where the character started on the first page to where they ended up on the last page. First episode to the last episode that they were in. So that coupled with origin stories makes for the best storytelling, I think, because every good superhero needs an interesting origin story as well as an interesting arc. And I feel like the origin story is very very underrepresented. Like, not as much work goes into the origin story as there should be. Or sometimes it just turns out bad. But I like this origin story so far. It makes me more interested in who is this hero, what are they going to bring to the table. I'm hooked.
Nice. Yeah. So yeah, we get to the next slide. We get to Takis, but spelled with a Q-U.
That reminds me of kind of what I was just talking about with the Spider-Man 1 movie, where with Tobey Maguire, where his first name is the Human Spider instead of Spider-Man, but the guy calls him Spider-Man because he thinks that it sounds cooler, which it does. So I feel like I can't look at this without being reminded of that scene where like the original name is just not good.
Yep. Yeah. Interesting. So Takis, spelled differently but pronounced the same because this is like a Spanish spelling, and it's a little bit mysterious. But what we do know is that they were invented in 1999 and first released in Mexico. The records aren't great on all this, but it was released in 1999, and they were based on the Mexican food taquitos, hence the spelling. So that's sort of interesting. You can tell that from their rolled up shape. They sort of look like taquitos, if you've ever had taquitos. So it sort of makes sense. But these were a sort of rolled up chip. It's interesting. Barcel sells other types of chips, and the Takis were specifically rolled up in a taquito-like way. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird to look at that. I would love to get my hands on one of them. I feel like it's a collector's edition now.
It is. Yeah.
I would love to get my hands on the original Takis.
Yes.
That's what I want.
Yep. I agree.
But like you said, the records aren't great, and they're
Yeah.
invented in you said 1999.
Yes. Yeah, 1999. It's interesting. So the sort like about it being called Takis with a QU, it's like no one's exactly sure about that. We have these pictures here which would like suggest that, but this could be like a Photoshop someone made, I'm not entirely sure. But I would assume not, right? But like the sources that we have say this could be a rumor. So it's interesting. And there is this strange sort of shroud of mystery around the foundation of Takis, and that extends particularly to their inventor, Morgan Sanchez. Who is he?
Sanchez.
No one knows. Where is he? No one knows that either.
Mystery man. So if you look up who the inventor of Takis is, it'll say Morgan Sanchez, probably. You'll get linked to a bunch of sites, and all of them basically say the same thing: is that Takis were allegedly invented by a guy named Morgan Sanchez, but not much is known about him, and his current whereabouts are unknown.
Yeah, let me get the quote from this one website called snackhistory.com under a section titled The Inventor of Takis. Quote, several sources report that the inventor of Takis is an individual named Morgan Sanchez, but little information to confirm this exists. Takis may have been invented by someone in the employ of company Barcel, who appears to have owned the product since its beginnings. So that's a very
it adds to the mystery.
We don't know kind of statement.
It really adds to the mystery. Plenty of theories have gone around about who Morgan Sanchez actually is. Theories ranging anywhere from he is DB Cooper to he is Stop It. No one knows, but yes. Morgan Sanchez currently remains a mystery.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that this is a plot point that will be resolved later. Like, this is the mystery layered into the origin story that allows for a fantastic conclusion,
Yeah. I like to think that it was actually aliens, and Morgan Sanchez is just a cover. Aliens gifted humanity the invention of Takis. It was something crucial we didn't know we needed. What if the aliens, right, recognized the state of our society in 1999 and were like, oh, they are going to collapse, we must intervene? And what if that intervention was Takis? No one will ever know.
No one knows. It could really be anything, man. It could really be anything. But I would like to meet him. I feel like this guy knows something,
I feel like he's very knowledgeable.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he has wisdom.
I mean, I feel like we need his help, too. We just found out that Silas is back. And he's out there. He's not actually... We did not actually defeat him. He tricked us with a cruel ploy.
Yeah.
And then sent Gravity Min in 49 seconds after us to finish the job. Now, we barely escaped with our lives. But I feel like Morgan Sanchez might be able to help us in the timeless struggle against Silas.
Agreed. But yeah, so that brings us to 2006, when Takis were introduced into the American market with the spelling of K rather than QU. So yeah, that's when Takis first came to America under, Barcel USA. I'm looking for when this company started. Okay, so yeah, Barcel was founded in 1978, but eventually they opened a brand in America. I'm trying to find the exact date of that, but it was before 2006 or at 2006, because that's when Takis were introduced to the US. And that's when they were first available. So Barcel USA is headquartered in Coppell, Texas. So let me get that on Google Maps. Coppell, Texas. Texas is a big state. I'm like, where in Texas is that, right? So, that sort of fits with the brand, right? Since they're from Mexico, it makes sense that they would headquarter in Texas. Okay, so Coppell, Texas is near it's basically outside of Dallas. Mm-hmm. So it's a Dallas suburb, or it's part of Dallas. Kind of weird, but it's basically Dallas. Dallas and Fort Worth. So if you know where that is. So yeah, that's when they were introduced, and they were quickly popular with teenagers specifically. Barcel was originally going for specifically a target demographic of Hispanic people because they are a Mexican company, and so that's like who they were targeting. And it was the lime flavor, like introduced in the Takis, like they use lime flavoring. That is something more akin to like traditional Mexican food. Like that's something that people are more, what's the word? They're more used to. They're more used to it in Mexico because that is like how they make a lot of food. They include lime as a flavor in a lot of food, and that's not done as much here in America. So the target demographic was, Hispanics, but it actually took hold among teenagers in general. And so, yeah, so Takis are like notoriously, I guess, spicy, like spicier than other snack foods you would find. And again, that makes sense just since Takis are based on, they're from Mexico, so they're based on Mexican cuisine, and Mexico is a country that uses more spice than Americans are used to. So that gave Takis their sort of unique flavor and style, and they were a big hit because of this, because of their origins in Mexican cuisine. So that is very interesting. But yeah, young adults and teenagers really liked it. It's a bit of a challenge of like, can you handle the spiciness of it, right? And so yeah, it became very popular and then quickly just spread across the nation.
Yeah,
and
man.
That is how they got to where we are today, where you can find them wherever snacks are sold, right?
Really, like, first of all, it's a crime that they are not included on the menu in my high school cafeteria. They don't know how much money they are missing out on. I know that they deal with like, millions of dollars in grants or whatever, however much public education is, and only a small budget of that goes towards the food. If they added Takis to the cafeteria, their profits would, I kid you not, double. I swear, I would be in there waiting for the guy to come out of the truck with like the 80 boxes of full boxes of Takis, and I'm not even gonna let him put him on the shelf. I'm gonna stop him as he's coming out of the truck. I'm gonna be like, "Excuse me, sir, that's about 180 bags. This should cover it," and I just take them all home and rinse and repeat every single Monday for the rest of my high school career. They would make so much money. But you can find these at like CVS, any convenience store. I buy a ton of Takis. Honestly, they are one of the top things that I actually spend money on. Like, it's Magic the Gathering cards, Takis, and, occasionally, like, necessities. But I'm telling you, Takis top the list for stuff that I spend my own personal funds on. There is, and we didn't include a slide about this, but I wanted to talk about this for a second. There's this feud between Takis and the Hot Cheetos, where people are always like, I like Takis better, I like Hot Cheetos better. And, I don't care. I don't care what you like. Like, I don't care if you know, if you're a vegetarian, sure, go ahead. I don't care if you prefer like mint ice cream to cookies and cream. You know, I do as well. It doesn't matter. But then the debate spiraled off into a direction that I did not enjoy. I do not have a taste for the direction that this. I do not care for it.
What happened?
The debate turned into which is spicier, Takis Fuego, and we're gonna get into the flavors later. But Takis Fuego is the main flavor. It's the most successful and most commonly sold, and it is also the spiciest of the entire Takis lineup. So, which is spicier, Takis Fuego or the hot Cheeto, like the hottest of the hot Cheetos, whatever the hell that's called? I have had both back to back, and Takis Fuego, and I don't get flustered by spicy food. We've established that I am the hot sauce connoisseur, the captain of capsaicin. That's what they call me. But if you think that the hot Cheetos, I don't care where you get them from, if they are like straight out of the factory, if you get them from like the most high-end grocery store ever, I don't care where it's coming from. If you think that they are spicier than Takis Fuego, you need to just get out of the business and stop eating food altogether. You have lost your food license. I'm so sorry. You gotta get your taste buds fixed, sir. You gotta see a tongue doctor. I don't even know what that's called. But you gotta get, something is wrong. Seek help. I don't find either of them to be particularly spicy. But if you think that Takis
You need to
Fuego
go
is
to
not
an
the hotter of the two,
otolaryngologist.
you must see an otolaryngologist.
Yeah.
And that's what I have to say on that. And if you're sitting there in the comments like, you know, I have a reasonably in-tuned palate. I believe that hot Cheetos are the spicier of the two. First of all, say mean things to yourself. Second of all, you're wrong. Third of all, say nice things to yourself, because you should always take care of yourself.
Wholesome. Interesting. So that's an interesting debate. How long has this debate been going on?
I have seen memes about this and like the discussion itself since like 2016. Because there's a lot of stereotypes out there about people that eat Takis and hot Cheetos. But then from those memes, it spiraled a debate. Oh, who's better, the Takis eaters or the hot Cheeto eaters? And you know, from right there, I don't care. If you prefer hot Cheetos to Takis, by all means, rob yourself of flavor. I don't care. Go ahead. Lose. But if you think that they're spicier than Takis, then that's a fallacy, you know? Like, feel free to make your own decision, but your opinion is wrong.
Very, very well put.
Thank you.
But yeah, no, that does speak to it, because no matter how hot you go, I mean, I would believe that, because Cheetos, I mean, I haven't done the research on this, but I'm guessing it's an American-based brand.
Yeah.
So their definition of spicy is probably very different from Taki's definition of spicy.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
I
love Mexican food so much. Like,
yeah,
it might be my favorite food on the planet. I'm not sure. I
think I'd have to agree with that.
Yeah,
I really like
it. It's so good, and I'm really happy that a lot of I'm at the end of August, I'm gonna go on like a college road trip. I'm gonna be looking at a bunch of colleges. I'm really happy that a lot of them are near to the border, so that I'll be able to get some like Tex-Mex,
Southwest. Yeah,
exactly. Some true Mexican food, all that.
Nice. Yeah. So yeah, that's the history of Takis.
Yeah.
So now let's go into the different flavors of Takis. So we're going to talk about the most common flavors. There are also many flavors that have been discontinued.
Yes.
Most of them, I would say, for good reason, right?
Yeah.
Would you agree with
a
that?
lot of them needed to be put out of their misery and should not have been able to be legally sold to the public.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. So we are gonna take you guys through this, and yeah, that's about it.
Before we go into the flavors, I believe a certain someone is owed a shout out. In our research for the different Takis flavors, those discontinued and those still sold, we found one man that has reviewed, I think, every single flavor of Takis, or at least a grand majority of them. And that, of course, is Casual Gamer Reed. All one word, no capitals. Casual Gamer Reed is a food reviewer / gamer, and he sits in his car and he reviews food when he's not playing games, and somehow he gets his hands on like the most illegal flavors of Takis. Really, please check him out. Just Casual Gamer Reed Takis, and you'll see him in his car. And he's really doing God's work. He really is. He gives you just an honest, straightforward review of it. He's a straight shooter, and this episode might not have been able to happen without.
Yeah. Something that I am continuously perplexed about, I guess, is the fact that for some reason, like, it seems like the majority of food review videos on YouTube occur in people's cars, and that includes Reed's. And I just don't know why. I feel like if I were to start a food review channel now, just based on like the precedent, based on the past information, I'd be like, well, I've got to do it in the car.
Yeah, honestly.
Like, I just don't know why. I feel like compelled to do it now. You got to eat food in the car, I guess. Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah.
Takis.
So let's go into the flavors. So I have 3 for us today. Of course, we start with Takis Fuego. Like I said earlier, most widely spread, most successful. When you think of Takis, this is the bag that comes to your mind. I have 2 of them here with me. This is what they look like. They've been redesigned since the picture that we have up. This is the redesign. I gotta say I like the old design a little better. This is a little busy for me, and I'm trying not to crinkle too much for the microphone, which is right under me. I feel like the other one was simple because, like, the one on the screen, because it tells you 3 things. It tells you what it looks like, it tells you that it's spicy, and it tells you that there's lime in it. That's all you need to know about Takis. This one, it's too busy. You see, it looks like they're fighting. It looks like they're all fighting each other. It's a
fire tornado.
Exactly. You don't want to make it seem like they're fighting. You don't want the flavors to fight. On the old one, it looks like they're all working together to make a nice little bonfire for your taste buds. This looks like Hurricane Takis. The old one, looks like a one-way ticket to Flavor Town.
So yeah, it is very interesting. Obviously, both packages feature the lime, so it tells you about the lime flavor. But I saw that package had the addition of some sort of pepper.
Yeah, it has the peppers.
Do you know what kind of pepper it is?
What
kind of pepper is these? Is it maybe used in Takis or? So,
that looks just like a standard chili pepper that you see.
Okay.
And that is like a mid-section cut of it on the side right there, with the seeds inside. We have a slide on the ingredients. I want to see if it tells me on this what peppers they use. Yeah, just chili peppers.
Cool.
So yeah, just your standard chili peppers. We're gonna go. Some of the other flavors use specific peppers, like habaneros or chipotle peppers, but these just use the standard chili peppers, which I love. I do.
Nice.
I'm also a big habanero guy, but I gotta say that the jalapeno, and I know habaneros and jalapenos
That's my
are kind of the
favorite
same,
pepper.
but
I really like the jalapenos.
they got that kick,
Yeah.
I like it. But yeah, Takis Fuego, if like they try and doll it up, they try and make it look like it's super spicy. I don't find it too spicy. So my friends do think it is spicy though. So take that into consideration. But I can literally sit, and I have, in one sitting, just tank an entire bag of this. And you saw how much this is. This is probably 1 pound, I would say. This is probably like a 1 pound bag. Maybe a little
How many?
less.
I think it might say up near the top where it says serving size.
Serving size, about 10 servings per container, and a serving size, is 1 ounce. So that means it's a 10-ounce bag.
10 ounces.
I
can't believe
how many ounces are
I love those serving sizes.
Yeah.
Like that is crazy. 1 ounce.
By the way, a serving size is like 12 pieces. So
So there's about 120 chips in there.
Yeah, I would say.
That's a big bag then.
Yeah, so if it's 10 ounces, then it's 0.6 pounds. So not exactly a pound, but pretty close.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's interesting. So obviously you said the chili pepper. Is the chili pepper a particularly spicy pepper, like compared to, say, jalapeno?
So going just by Scoville units is usually your best guess for determining how hot something is, because it puts you in the general area of it. Although the best way to describe it is that there's also different like things that get different people. Like I am pretty accustomed to, just hot sauce, which is usually just chili pepper extract mixed with some sort of vinegar or something to that tune. And obviously just the straight up chili peppers. And that's the seeds is what makes them spicy. So, that's what hits you. But I've tried some oil based hot sauces and those kill me. Like, I'm just not used to the oil and stuff like that, but I can get you the Scoville units of chili peppers.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll look up jalapeno for reference.
Yeah, and that's the issue, is that chili peppers are kind of a blanket term for a lot of peppers. So let me see if I can get the specific peppers used for Takis.
Okay. So it says jalapeno peppers are between 2,500 and 8,000 on the Scoville scale, with a similar heat range as Fresno peppers, and a lot more spice than poblano and bell peppers. Yeah, bell peppers. I thought those are just normal, like non-spicy peppers. But
yeah, so they're just saying just chili peppers in general. I would guess, like, I've bit into... how many Scoville units did you say was?
The jalapeno?
Yeah.
2,500 to 8,000.
2,500 to 8,000. Okay, yeah. Yeah, the one I'm looking at, it has a similar range. I've bitten into a jalapeno. I don't think I've bitten into an actual habanero. My favorite hot sauce on the planet is that of the Trinidad scorpion pepper. Those that use the Trinidad scorpion pepper. Which is the same pepper that's used, or it's in the same Scoville range as pepper spray. So I'm effectively spraying pepper spray into my mouth.
Wow.
So that is around 1.5 to 2 million Scoville units.
That makes me want to do a test. And that my question is, are you immune to pepper spray?
I've made that exact joke like a
Yeah.
bunch of times. I want to test that, honestly. Like, obviously, if you spray it in my
Find out.
eyes, I'm going to
Mm,
be in pain because I'm not
hmm
used to putting chili peppers in my eyes.
hmm
But in my mouth, that is what it's been trained. My taste buds and
mm,
all that's been trained, and my stomach as well.
hmm
So, could I take a blast of pepper spray to the mouth? One day
Yeah.
we will find out.
Yeah, it's like I gotta know. I gotta be like, okay. When I'm around Sebastian, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna need a different uh defensive weapon here. I'm like I'm gonna need to get a taser or something instead.
Something like that. I'm unstoppable with the common pepper
Unstoppable.
spray because of my Trinidad
Exactly.
Scorpion hot sauce.
Yep.
But the
I,
U.S.
I'd let yeah.
the U.S. grade police pepper spray is double,
Mm.
or
Oh, it's double.
at least 2.5 million Scoville units.
Wow.
So much hotter than that.
hmm
But just going off of it, I bit into a jalapeno pepper that was very, like, it had a lot of seeds in it. It was like, this was a
Okay.
sizable pepper, and I ate the entire thing. And that really was like spice. Like, that really
Mm.
did get me. And because, like, the Scoville scale, it's a little misleading. Like, jalapenos are down there at only like 2,500 to like 8,000, but like sriracha is like even less. I would bet that sriracha is probably only around like 1,000 to maybe 3,000 Scoville units.
hmm
But if you
Yeah.
have like a lot of sriracha, you can hurt yourself. Even like the
Mm.
most experienced hot sauce guy, and I'm talking like a lot of sriracha, like an entire bottle, because when I put sriracha on pizza, I cover my pizza. You can't see the pizza anymore.
hmm
It's just sriracha. So I'm not
Yeah.
talking like that amount of sriracha, but entire bottle in that itself is just unhealthy. That you We'll talk about this later. There is a ton of salt and a lot of vinegar that goes
Mm.
into pretty much every hot sauce. You're gonna find salt and vinegar, especially with Frank's. Frank's is really high in vinegar. That's Frank's red hot sauce, which I love, one of my favorites. But the thing about the Scoville scale is that even if you're dealing with something that might only be 2,000, if you have just so much of it, you're gonna hurt yourself. So that jalapeno pepper that I had might have only been like 5,000, 8,000 Scoville units, but there was a ton of seeds, and I was chewing on it for a decent amount of time.
Hmm.
So that got me. Let me see how many Scoville units Takis
Interesting.
are.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. So it's chili pepper, but chili pepper is like a ton of different kinds of peppers. So yeah, I'd like to see. I would guess it's probably less than straight up peppers or any sort of hot sauce, right?
Yeah. People are saying it's actually comparable. This is just on Ask Reddit.
hmm
Um, People here are saying it's comparable to the jalapeno. I
Okay.
might disagree with
hmm
that.
Yeah. In your experience, what would you say?
I would really say, and again, this might just be like the application method here in Takis is powder. It's these chips are
Mhm.
coated in powder, and that there is a difference there. I can just tell you from just trying a lot of different hot sauces, like oil based hot sauces, actual like sauce solution based sauces, as well as just powder or an actual pepper. Um, I might just have a higher tolerance for the powder. Um, and I would say probably everyone does, but I would probably put Takis around. Um, Really, I could not see them going higher than 3,000 Scoville units. Like any higher than that, that that seems a little absurd to me. Like if we're talking an entire and that's the thing, is that people will binge eat Takis, which, you know, I do all the time. And that's what's happening, is that it keeps getting added up. Like, again, I don't know the scale for adding up, but like I said, if you eat a ton of sriracha, it's going to add up and you're going to hurt yourself. So it's like, by the end of the bag, people are like, oh, that was like a jalapeno. So individually, they're nothing near it. But if you take, and again, the bag is this size. I don't know what to do for comparison, but
yeah, just put it like next to your head.
My head for
Where the
comparison.
perspective shifts.
So,
yeah,
you know, and it's
maybe like a foot tall. It looks like maybe.
Yeah, definitely about a foot tall. It's a 10-ounce bag, so 120 pieces. So in 120 pieces, after 120 pieces, people are saying it feels like 8,000 Scoville units.
Okay.
Which would lead me to believe that the actual powder itself might be around probably like less than actual half of that, because like, take a ton of sriracha and it'll start feeling hotter than an actual jalapeno pepper, even though it's not, which is the issue with the scale, because it doesn't take into account how fast something can layer on top of itself. My guess would be anywhere in the range of 2,000 to like 3,000, maybe 3,500. That's what I would say.
So that's interesting, because the operator of spice is essentially how much capsaicin enters the taste buds, right?
Yes.
So if you eat a lot of some food that has a low density of capsaicin, or just a little bit of a food that has a high density of capsaicin, that's still the same amount, you know, the same number of molecules interacting with the taste buds. So that is interesting as like a flaw of the Scoville scale.
Yeah.
But
it's still the best scale that we have. I did a hot sauce video. It's, you know, I've been trying some really, really hot sauces for a really, really long time. Like, at one point I did like half of the Hot Ones lineup. Have you seen that show, Hot Ones, where they like give celebrities
where they interview a celebrity?
Yeah.
I've like seen a few scenes.
I went to their store and I got that's actually where I got my favorite hot sauce of all time, which is the Trinidad Scorpion hot sauce. I love those peppers. They do right by me. There's nothing else I can say about that. But I got some of the ones that they use in the lineup, and I have like, I don't think I have the hottest. I think I have the second hottest, which is Reaper peppers, I'm pretty sure. And those those are nightmares, you know.
Yeah, those are one of the ones that people would make like videos about, like the Carolina Reaper.
Yeah, that's the stuff that's comparable with the U.S. grade police pepper spray. That is, it's one above the Trinidad peppers, and that stuff is no joke. I'm pretty sure the Reaper peppers are not naturally occurring. I'm pretty sure they were like selectively bred. I'm pretty sure they were. They're selectively bred ghost peppers that eventually were able to outdo the ghost peppers, because ghost peppers are only in the range of about 800,000 to 1.5 million Scoville units, so below the scorpion pepper. But then they were selectively bred, I think even in South Carolina, and they were able to just make it hot, man. I think it's the hottest individual pepper on the planet. So, you know, dabbling with that for a while, that, you know, it like, it kind of waters down everything else. You know, when you've had a ton of like Reaper infused sauce on a lot of things. I always put it on like something that has bread involved to kind of give myself a break, because bread absorbs some of the capsaicin and stops it from going into your system. But, you know, then you open a bag of Takis and it's like, come on. So my range is like out of whack. It really is. But
yeah, that makes sense. That is very interesting. But yeah, so Takis, somewhere around just your typical everyday peppers, your everyday sort of like jalapeno or maybe less, like the kind of peppers that you could just casually get at any like Mexican food restaurant, you know, that they'll say, oh, do you want this pepper in there? You know, I always get jalapenos with my burritos. Like I always have those put in. So it's sort of, you know, everyday kind of spice. So it is spicy, and it's spicy than just average American snack foods, but it's not like ridiculous. You know, it's not like the limits and the actual like intentionally sort of very, I don't know how to say, like hyper spicy kind of stuff. But that is very interesting. You know a lot about this, but yeah, so that's Takis. I actually haven't had Takis. I feel like I got to go get some. I mean, I've probably had them at some point before. I just can't remember specifically. But yeah, I wanna go get some. I wonder where around here I could get them. But yeah, so that is just very interesting. We always get like Doritos, you know, whenever.
Yeah. Doritos are solid,
so,
man.
Yeah, Doritos are reliable. And I would get they're, I mean, kind of spicy, but not really. The spiciest Doritos you can get are those, what is it called? Like the sweet chili flavor, the purple one.
Yeah, the purple one. That's my favorite one.
Or the spicy chili or whatever it's called. Those are kind of spicy, but I imagine none of them are as spicy as Takis themselves are. So yeah, so that is interesting. I gotta, next time, my parents or like my dad will sometimes buy Doritos, right? Next time I want to say like, oh, get some Takis. so yeah, so that's interesting, very interesting. But that's Fuego. So this is the spiciest flavor, right?
Yeah.
So all the flavors after this are less so.
Are either the same exact flavor, just rebranded, or less spicy. Yeah.
All right. Interesting.
So
yeah, let's start with nitro.
I don't like nitro. I've had it because they ran out of Fuego at the convenience store that I usually get my Takis from. The reason they ran out was me. And so I go in there. I thought they would have restocked. I cleaned them out. I thought they would have restocked. They hadn't. So I was like...
That's hilarious.
I was like, all right. And we're starting off with the 5. Like the first 5 you're going to see here are the most commonly sold ones of those. So usually you're going to see nitro alongside Fuego and the next 3 that we'll talk about. But so I tried nitro. I was just not impressed, probably because I was so used to Fuego. It really was like just stepping down, like just a couple of rungs down on the spice ladder. The lime flavor was a little too overpowering because now the spice wasn't there to counterbalance it. I'm almost completely certain that Casual Gamer Reed has a review of this if you want to check out his statement on it. You know, he's obviously our top man in the field, but
yeah. So here's a very interesting thing that I just noticed, and this might be your explanation. So on the official Takis website, on their page for Takis Nitro, the description for Nitro is straight from our lab of mad geniuses comes Taki Nitro chips, 1 part habanero, 1 part lime, and then et cetera, right? However, when you go to ingredients, you don't actually find habanero. Habanero is not part of their ingredients for this chip. And it looks like neither are chili peppers. So it looks like this is just more artificial flavoring, that there isn't actually any real pepper in this one that I can see from the ingredients list. So that is an interesting, because of the other one, Fuego actually had chili peppers listed.
Yes.
I'm just going to go through here again. You know, corn, masa flour, vegetable oil, maltodextrin, salt, citric acid. I think that's probably where they're getting
That's
Is
lime.
that spicy at all?
No,
I'm not.
citric
Okay,
citric
that's the
acid
lime.
is like
Okay. Oh
lime,
yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay. Dextrose, monosodium glutamate, sugar, onion powder,
Mhm.
artificial colors, natural and artificial flavors, gum arabic, and mannitol. So yeah, no
And
actual peppers in here.
they're even marketing it as habanero peppers. Like that
Mm,
pepper on the bag, that is a habanero pepper.
yeah,
Um,
that's very strange. So they don't actually have habanero in
which
their
means they're using a
habanero
substitute,
chip.
because
Yeah.
that makes sense, because if we go back to
Mhm.
the Scoville scale, habaneros are way above jalapenos. Jalapenos again,
Mhm.
2.5 or 2,500 to like 8,000. Habaneros are 100,000 to 350,000.
Wow. So those are actually really spicy. Okay. So it kind of makes sense that they wouldn't put habanero
Yeah.
in there because I think that's a bit too much for just an average consumer snack item. But it is weird that they would advertise it like that.
It
And at the very least, you would think they would put some sort of pepper in there because the last one did actually have chili pepper in it.
So there's a difference between just flavor and spice. Like the
Mhm.
flavor, is like how you usually experience a food. All the minutia of taste that it comes with. The spice is almost something else entirely, because it's pretty much specifically isolated to just how much capsaicin does it have or not have. Um,
Mhm.
from my memory, it kind of tasted like a habanero. I've had habanero flavored hot sauce, of course, habanero flavored other stuff. Again, I don't think I've actually eaten a real habanero pepper, like just straight up pepper, but I've definitely had it in sauces. It kind of tasted like it. I really didn't really like the flavor all that much. Again, I do just prefer the flavor of jalapenos to habaneros, anyways. But um, I didn't really see why this one was out there. I guess like
Mhm.
obviously it's a less spicy alternative, and so to me, like the appeal of Takis is that they are spicy and they do taste really good. And of course I'm talking about Fuego here. Like I really do like the flavor of it. So I could have seen what they were going for if they stepped it down on the ladder, like instead of stepping it up and then using a substitute for a spicier pepper, if they just took it
Mhm.
down to a less spicy pepper, like I believe, poblano peppers are
Mhm.
much
Yeah.
less spicy than jalapenos or specific poblano peppers. Or,
But would you
yeah,
say nitro is less spicy than fuego,
it
right?
is. It is less spicy.
Okay.
But
So
I'm
it's the
just,
flavor of a spicier pepper,
yes.
but it's the spiciness of something lesser.
And
So
that's what
that
threw
is
me off.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it would make sense if they would go for an actual pepper. I think that might be what's missing here.
Mm-hmm.
Just in terms of like what you like about it. I think it's sort of part of the appeal to have
Mm-hmm.
actual peppers in there, like real flavor.
Yeah.
Because obviously, right, it's a chip. It's like we're not expecting chips to be, all organic,
Go
natural,
get
blah blah
like
blah.
gourmet food here.
Yeah, exactly. But it does sort of speak to the whole. It's like in movies, the whole like practical effects versus CGI
Mm-hmm.
thing. It's
Mm-hmm.
like whatever the budget of the movie is, whatever kind of movie it is. The rule of thumb is that if you can do practical effects, it's better to do it than not to do it. It
Mm-hmm.
just looks better, right? I think the same is the case with food. If you have a real flavor that you can put in it, such as actual peppers, that's going to be better than some sort of artificial concoction. So, so that is interesting. I think that personally, that would be my explanation of why the Fuego is better than the Nitro. So,
Yeah, honestly, if I was in the board meeting when they created this, I would have just said, I honestly would have just been doubled down. I would have been like, if we want to market something as habanero, let's actually use habanero and just have it be a
mm,
spicier snack than Fuego.
oh yeah.
Also, I'm not fond of the name Nitro. There's
Mm,
no reasoning behind that. Like Fuego, it's hot, it's fire, you
mm,
know. nitro? Is there
Yeah.
nitroglycerin in this? Is it going to
It
explode? I don't know.
it makes me think like in a car, right? Like nitro in
Yeah,
a
using
car will
nitro
like
as the super
boost it up or
boost.
something
Yeah.
like that. But that again doesn't make sense because if they're trying to market this as the less spicy one, as like this is your less spicy alternative, then you would think it would be the opposite
Yeah,
of a super,
why wouldn't they
right?
call it Taki's clutch? You know, or something
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
exactly.
that.
Like something less. So I think it would actually be interesting if they made like I don't know. They don't usually name like none of these names are named after actual peppers, but I think it would be nice if they had like, Takis Poblano or something like that. And then also, I also think it would be nice if they had Takis Habanero just for like, look,
Yeah.
here's our maximum spicy one. But yeah, that's all that's interesting. The nitro.
Yeah. I like obviously not the worst thing I've ever eaten,
Hmm.
but honestly, out of the Takis flavors, I would say that out of the ones I've tried, and I'll give the list when we get to like the discontinued one because that has a ton of flavors on it. And the ones I've tried, I would say Takis Nitro is probably on the bottom for me, to be honest, because of like the mismatch between the flavor and the heat, you know. So
Hmm.
honestly, to me, Takis Nitro is probably on the bottom of the barrel for the Takis flavors for me.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, over to Crunchy Fajita.
Crunchy fajita.
So
So
yeah.
so yeah, so I'm just looking at the ingredients again,
Mm-hmm.
and crunchy fajita has chili pepper in it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, although the pepper on the front looks like is that a different pepper from the one that was on your fuego?
That looks very similar, if not the
Okay.
same. Yeah, that's the same.
Okay, so it's the same chili pepper. Um, so that sort of gives you a initial sort of expectation here. Um, it's supposed to match the spicy intensity of a Tex-Mex dish. And this is a quote from their website, official website. Um, and so they're rated hot, quote hot. I don't know who rated them hot. Like I don't know if there's an agency that like rates things as spicy, but there you go. Right. So so yeah, tell us a bit about the crunchy fajita.
So, you're gonna see this one rubbing elbows with Fuego and Nitro all the time. This
Mhm.
is. I would honestly say that I've seen Crunchy Fajita in more stores than I've seen Nitro. They're usually, and the next one actually as well. I see that one
Mhm.
more frequently than Nitro. So I would say that Crunchy Fajita is probably their second, or their either their second or their third most successful seller or most successful flavor. Um, when I had these
And they don't
again, yeah,
release the sale information.
yeah,
That's what one so we can't actually know, but
yeah,
yeah, but from personal experience, it does seem like that.
yeah. I've seen these like everywhere.
Hmm.
But like again, when the store that I usually use ran out of Takis for unknown reasons, or Takis Fuego.
I just find that hilarious.
Yeah, and it was really funny is that one time I came in there wearing my Taki shirt. I should have worn my Taki shirt for this.
uh,
Uh,
yeah.
but it's literally just a shirt with a picture of the Taki's Fuego bag on it. And I came in and I go to the back and I grabbed 2 bags of Takis. It was for a party. It wasn't just for
Mhm.
me, even though both ended up just solely being eaten by me. But the intent was that they were for
Mhm.
more than just one person. So, I bring it up to the guy, and I'm just holding the exact same bag that's on my shirt. And he's like laughing and stuff. I'm like, yep, that's me. Takis, man. But
Nice.
I had to use Crunchy Fajita as a substitute when they ran out of Fuego. And Honestly, I was not too disappointed with them. Going into it, I knew that they were less spicy than Fuego. There's no secret about that. Even the packaging makes it look like it's less spicy. Like the green, usually when a hot sauce is green, that means
Yeah.
that it is less spicy than like reds,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. So I knew it was gonna be less spicy, and I really didn't mind the flavor of this one. I was able to just, mindlessly eat it while I did things. Whereas with nitro, I'm not able to mindlessly eat it because the flavor like distracts me from doing stuff.
Yeah. So that is interesting. So the crunchy fajita. Um, yeah. So that's interesting because it seems like crunchy fajita is the true alternative to the fuego. Like it's the
Yeah,
true,
that's exactly how I would
like,
describe it.
if you like Takis but you're not very good with spice, here's the crunchy fajita. So so that's interesting. I'm not sure how they were marketed. Like, is it that the nitro is marketed like that's how it should be, or not?
Um, well, the issue, and again, it might just be us having a knowledge of which peppers are spicier than the other, but
Hmm.
those
That's
nitro is
true.
marketed as habanero flavored,
Hmm.
which would make you think there are habaneros in it, but we just found out that there aren't. But
Yeah.
if you just compare them back to back, Takis Fuego again with a chili pepper on it to Takis Nitro with a habanero pepper on it, you'd think, oh, look at that, the habanero one must be spicier.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
So that is interesting. But yeah, so crunchy fajita, if you are, if you are interested in Takis, if we have piqued your interest, but you're like, oh, I'm a little hesitant, right? This is you can dip your toe in the water of Takis, right? Uh, Crunchy fajita won't be as spicy. But yeah, so that's interesting. Because some people really don't like spice that much. Um, you know,
mm-hmm.
but I like spice. I like it. Um, I haven't like sought it out as much as you have, but I enjoy my fair share of spicy food. Um, but yeah, so the crunchy fajita seems like this is your mild, mild sauce, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely mild sauce. Um, yeah, really, really lack of spice. Barely any Scoville units on this one. I would say that this
Hmm.
would probably be, going back to the scale, probably around like not even breaking 1,000. I would say at the
Okay.
most 1,000.
Hmm.
But yeah, decent flavor. Didn't mind it.
Interesting. So the next one is Takis Wild.
Wild.
And the interesting thing here is that they aren't on the official Takis website.
And that's really
There's
that.
only 5 right now.
Yeah. So that's another thing is that Wild was a spin-off thing. Like
Mm.
they have a couple of spin-off flavors that we kind of have interlaced here, but
Hmm.
Takis Wild was released as a, here, let me get the name for it.
Like a limited time sort of thing, or
It wasn't like a limited thing, but it was like different somehow. Like it wasn't marketed with the usual things, but it got really popular, so then they kind of moved it into, like, they started making more of it. It's flavored like buffalo wings, like
mm.
spicy buffalo wings. I myself have not tried these, but I've seen these everywhere. The three, like, usually what the lineup is in, I've probably seen this in like 15 different stores, across the country. I've seen it in South Carolina and Florida as well as Connecticut. The usual lineup that you'll see if they have Takis is just a ton of Takis Fuego next to a ton of Takis Crunchy Fajita and then a ton of Takis Wild.
Mm. Interesting.
So those are the
Um,
three that you'll usually see together. I've heard really good things about Wild. I do really want to try them. So next time I'm in a grocery store, I will grab some.
Yeah, because you can see on the front here what looks like hot sauce, but then also what looks like ranch, I would say. Or some sort of like dipping, like you would put like wings in.
Yeah.
I guess this is it specifically, Buffalo Wild Wings, right? Is that the reference here?
I'm pretty sure. So in their ingredients, they're using cayenne peppers.
Okay. Cayenne. So that's another specific pepper. So that's different. That's interesting. Mm-hmm. Oh, where are you getting the oh wait, I got a list of ingredients. Mm-hmm. Here, I see chili, but
I'm seeing chili as well as cayenne
pepper
sauce.
Chili and cayenne.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
So
they have both here.
Cayenne peppers are around 30,000 to 50,000, and they have a great flavor. At a lot of Mexican-style restaurants, you'll see Cholula, that hot sauce. That's probably the most famous sauce that uses cayenne peppers. So if you know the flavor of the Cholula sauce, which is the one with the lady on it, that has a little wooden top, those are cayenne peppers in there.
Ah, interesting.
Again,
okay.
I don't
find that's cool. That's cool to have the two different kind of peppers in this one.
Yeah, I don't find cayenne peppers too spicy, but I really do like the flavor. They have a great flavor. So I would imagine that Wild is probably a very solid flavor, especially if they were able to pull off the buffalo flavor. To me, that is what is in question. That would be the limiting factor here, is how good the buffalo is going to determine how good these chips are. Because they're working with the right ingredients. They have the cayenne peppers in there, they have the chili peppers in there. If they get the buffalo right, they're going to have a great product. Is my thoughts.
Nice.
But I've heard pretty positive things. Reed definitely did this one. I don't exactly remember what he said, but I'm pretty sure he liked it.
Would you guess they are spicier or less spicy than Fuego?
So,
because the cayenne peppers are
spicier than jalapenos and stuff like
that. So,
I would say that. I would say in this case the buffalo itself might actually detract from the spiciness in this one, but based on what we've seen, I would say this is probably the most comparable to the Fuego in terms of spice. Comparable in terms of it's not the exact same flavor, which the next one we're going to hit is. I would say this is probably
the same spice level, even with a different flavor.
I would say it's around it. Like, they do literally state that Takis Fuego is their hottest. So, it's probably not exactly as hot, but I would say it's close.
Yeah. No, that is very interesting. I would like to try the Takis Wild, because wild wings are really good. And especially with, like, ranch. They always, serve wild wings with ranch, I think. Because is that an actual restaurant? I forget. Is Buffalo Wild Wing? That's an actual restaurant, right? Buffalo Wild Wings. I forget, or if just everyone always calls them Buffalo Wild Wings.
It's a restaurant.
Okay, so that's a restaurant. Okay, at that restaurant, I'm pretty sure they always serve the wings with ranch.
As they should. It's ranch. It's ranch or blue cheese or.
Yep.
Or leave the establishment. That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it would be an interesting experience to do ranch with these flavors, this flavor of Takis,
Yeah.
Get these in ranch. I think that would be interesting to sort of see if it's similar.
I just tried ranch on pizza. That was.
Is it good? Oh, I see all those commercials for it.
It wasn't as bad as you might think, but it wasn't as good as you might hope it is.
I've seen.
I don't. Too well.
Yeah,
it's really what it was.
I think I've seen. I'm not sure if these are ads for ranch or ads for pizza, but I've seen a couple ads that are specifically ranch with pizza, and I'm like, this is strange. I would guess it's ads for ranch, but again, I am not entirely sure, right? But I see them all the time. But yeah, and it is interesting actually, because on the website where I looked up the Takis Wild, one of the like suggested like related products is ranch. So
Yeah, there you go.
I think other people have tried this. So yeah, so that's interesting.
Absolutely. But for right now, Wild gets the seal of approval. Again, I'm pretty sure Reed liked it. Reed was a fan. And I see no reason why we should not be fans of this as well.
Nice.
So the next one, and one that I actually have here, is Blue Heat. Right here. So I first heard about these 2 months ago from Zach. He was like, yo, they made blue Takis. And I'm like, why? Why would they do that? So he bought some and he gave it to me. And, you know, we both tried it. And honestly, it looks weird. Like, I don't really want to open this right now. I'll open one of the other ones that I have here. But, same shape, same general shape, the roll formation that you have, just dyed blue. They used Blue One Lake for the dye, but it is the exact same flavor as Fuego.
Yeah, so it does have chili pepper in it at least.
Yes.
So it seems like my guess here is that it's just the same thing but with a dye.
Yeah, no, it is. It's literally just Fuego but dyed blue.
So it tastes exactly the same.
Yeah, like me looking at it might have like changed it because it does look weird, so that might have thrown me off. But really, it really did taste the exact same to me.
It would be interesting if we did a blind taste test.
Yeah. No, I would not be able to tell the difference in a blind taste test.
That's interesting.
I do like the art though. I like the dual tornadoes. I think this is their newest flavor of the rolls. They recently introduced Takis Hot Nuts, which we'll look at a little later. I think that's their newest thing. But Blue Heat, going by their standard bags of Takis, of the Takis rolls, I'm pretty sure this is the newest. So, but what that's also very impressive because it's risen to be one of the most sold. Like, again, this is the last of the 5 most common ones that you'll find. This has really skyrocketed in popularity. I don't like the blue. That's what I have to say.
Yeah. This is interesting because the way they advertise it is that it's actually supposed to be spicier than the Fuego.
It's not.
Kind of. So here's from their website. Some legends say that blue flames burn the hottest of all. It's time to put that to the test. Taki's Blue Heat rolled tortilla chips are like a fireball for your mouth, a furnace for your taste buds, a sun flare for your face. Get ready for a sensory experience so intense it may be our most extreme flavor yet. I appreciate the placement of "it may be" because I think that's it's not.
It's not.
Right?
It is not.
So that's an interesting sort of piece of branding there. So my guess would be, what's the purpose of this? It could just be sort of like a ploy to sell more chips. That would be my guess. Just
absolutely
a little branding, not much different, if anything, other than just the blue dye, but with the intent of selling more, getting people talking about Takis again.
Yeah.
Maybe people saying blue Takis. Oh, that's weird. That's interesting. Like Zach.
Exactly.
Said, right?
Yeah, that was the entire reason why we bought it was.
Yeah.
Because it was blue, so it worked. It really did.
So yeah. Sort of novelty kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did no difference in taste, I have to say. But yeah. So those were the 5 most common ones. Now we're going to go over to guacamole, which I'm pretty sure is the last one on their site that we haven't talked about.
Guacamole is on their site. Yeah, let me pull it up.
And this one, I have not tried this one either, but as you can see on the packaging, very mild. Guacamole itself, very mild dip.
Yeah. Yeah, and it also looks like, here, wait. it looks like there aren't any peppers in this one. And that would make sense because it's supposed to be like something else, you know. It's supposed to be guac, which is like mostly avocados, right? So yeah, do you want me to? I'll read their blurb for this one too.
Go ahead.
If you love guac, we mean really love guac, then look no further than Taki's guacamole flavored tortilla chips. Every crunchy bite is an intense rush of guacamole flavor. Don't let that mild rating fool you. Taki's guacamole flavored rolled tortilla chips kick your taste buds in the mouth and are seriously flavored for people who are serious about intensity. So that's interesting. It is the guacamole chip. Oh yeah, and I feel like I should mention here that we are not sponsored by Takis. I just want to be explicit about that. This isn't because I think you could get in trouble if you don't mark your ads appropriately. This is not a sponsored episode, obviously. Sebastian really likes Takis, and I kind of want to try them now too. So
we also do have some chat.
Taki's appreciation. All right, yeah, let's see what the chat says. Chat, Darren Wang, why is this a thing?
Because you need to be educated, Darren Wang. You need to be educated on...
Well, maybe he's talking about specifically the Blue Heat ones, if this is a recent comment. I don't know when. It doesn't show when someone said it, which is a little
if you're talking
difficult.
about the episode itself, you need to be educated on some flavor. You need to get some flavor in your life, buddy. If you're talking about a specific Takis flavor, based on which one you're talking about, I might agree, disagree, or just attack you on sight. So next time I see you, clarify. But
nice. But then we have Barry Rubin says, "Lol, here and watching live, we all need some spice in our lives."
Yes, that is absolutely true. It's absolutely true. But it looks like Taki's guacamole would disagree because there is zero spice in it. Guacamole, I would say, probably has about 100 Scoville units. So we're talking like someone that just had, like, I guess, I don't know, someone that just had a jalapeno breathed really hard in your mouth. I would say that's an equivalent.
That's funny. Yeah.
I would guess that they taste like guacamole, and you know what? That's a great idea. I like it. Because usually, think about it, what do you have to do? Chip, guacamole, mouth. What did they do? They took out the middleman. Chip, mouth. There's no dip involved. True. I like it. That's more efficient.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I'm looking at all the stuff they have in here. Some stuff that like pops out is they have tomato powder. I don't think that was in the other ones. They've got garlic powder, acetic acid, which is a different acid. I'm not sure which one. Then milk. No, this is fun because on the ingredients it listed sodium caseinate and then in parentheses milk. So but then dipotassium phosphate, spices, natural and artificial flavors, blah blah blah. So it seems like they do actually have some like guacamole stuff in here. No avocados though, so they don't actually use avocados in this. But yeah.
So there you go, guacamole.
So there you go, yeah. Guacamole.
And lastly, explosion. If I am not incorrect, this is the one that Reed did not like. I believe that this is the one that Reed said he was not really too fond of. I might be wrong, so please do your own research. But looking at this, I would agree that this does not look like something I want. Zesty nacho? That seems like a bit of a clash. Usually on my nachos, I will put pickled jalapenos on it. So that's like a tad bit of quote-unquote zest, but...
So this is made with chili pepper. Yeah, it's made with chili pepper, like most of the others. Yeah, let's just read through here. Vegetable oil. So it's got the citric acid. I'm guessing, what do you think? Maybe they pumped up the citric acid to 11?
I'm gonna guess that's what they did. Also with the here, do you want to read the blurb?
Oh, yeah, sure. Kaboom! Take a bite of Taki's explosion chips and you'll feel it. The taste of cheese hits you like bam. Then the flavor of chili pepper comes on like pow. This detonation of intensity makes explosion rolled tortilla chips a blast to eat. Literally. Rated very hot. These are like a flavor volcano. So
So it's
that's
cheese.
interesting because, well, but also the original ones were just rated hot, right? All the other ones were just rated hot. And this one is rated very hot.
There's no way it's
So do you
hotter
think
than Fuego.
this, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Fuego
Yeah.
is
Fuego
rated
is rated
extreme.
extreme. Okay. So this is, but this looks like it's the second place because the other ones we had, the other ones on the website looked like were either hot or mild. This one is rated very hot, and the Fuego itself is extreme. So, yeah, so that is interesting.
So they jacked up the spice and they jacked up the
Mhm.
cheese, or I guess included cheese because none of the others have cheese. Um,
Yeah.
it just
So it's
I'm
supposed to be like nachos. You're right.
yeah, I'm not really too thrilled by that.
All right.
Nacho flavor, it's good. Like Doritos are the masters of nacho flavor. The undisputed snack
Yeah,
masters of nacho flavor.
I would
So
agree with that. Yeah, the classic red Doritos nacho cheese.
yeah,
So maybe it's like maybe the difficulty with this product is that it's like cutting into the sort of Doritos market and it's not able to compete with Doritos because Taki's main thing is like really spicy chips.
that would be my
Um,
guess.
yeah.
If I saw this, I would not pick it up.
Hmm.
With like, I don't want my chips to be too cheesy if that's not what I'm looking for. If I'm looking for something spicy, I'll look for something spicy. And if I'm looking for something cheesy, I'll look for something that's cheesy.
Hmm.
Very
Yeah.
rarely do I look for something that is spicy and cheesy.
Hmm. So this has the same spice rating as Nitro. So
Mm,
Nitro is also rated as very hot.
okay.
What do you think? Maybe there's an uncanny valley between hot and extreme where the
Perhaps.
very hots lie, and
Yeah.
it's just like not that good.
Yeah. Honestly, this does not look appealing to me. Again, I have not had it, so I might be
Hmm.
completely wrong. But it having the same spice level as Nitro and the cheese mixed with that spice level, it doesn't look like it's going to do a lot for it.
Hmm.
And they're marketing it as zesty nacho. So these
Hmm.
still have citric acid in it, I would bet.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
with
even though
that,
they don't have the lime on the cover. That is interesting.
yeah.
Personally, I probably like of the chips I've had, like just the classic red Doritos are like my favorite. Like that's my
Mm,
chip of choice, right?
mm-hmm.
So I would imagine I might like these, but I feel like if I were in a situation where there's Takis explosion and then just classic Doritos, I feel like I would always go with the Doritos because I can't imagine that Takis would do Doritos better than Doritos can. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But if I'm specifically looking for Takis, I'll just go for the original Takis. So this flavor, I think its problem is that it's just like not knowing its market well enough, you know? Uh, that would be my assessment here.
Yeah. But there you go. So those are the most known or most easily to be found flavors. The next one we're going to go into is the discontinued flavors, and boy oh boy, there's a lot of them.
Mm.
This is in no particular order.
Yep.
A lot of these I had to source from other videos because they've been so
Mm-hmm.
buried, like Taki's Party in the bottom left and Taki's Black in the bottom right. I got those both
Yeah.
from YouTube videos reviewing it. I didn't look at
Mm.
what they said about it, but I'm sure you can look up those things. Um, And also,
Yeah.
if you
Do
can
we want to go
speak
through all of these?
Spanish, it can help.
Oh, if you can speak Spanish.
I'm
Oh, wait,
pretty
are
sure
the
they were-
videos?
I'm pretty sure. I think they were in Spanish.
The review videos?
But
That's difficult. So maybe these are like confined to the domestic
that also
market.
might be true. Yeah.
And by domestic, I mean Mexico, because this is a Mexican company. Usually when you say domestic, you think American, but domestic for the company, right? That's interesting. Let's just read off some of these flavors, though.
Yeah,
So you've
absolutely.
got Al Pastor. This is the first one on the top left. Then you've got Original, Salsa Brava, Zombie, Angry Burger, Cobra. Oh, that's interesting. And then back over here, we got Party, Titan, Lava, Rock, Barbecue, BBQ, BBQ Picante, specifically. Then you've got Extra Hot, and then Black. I like how the Takis Black bag isn't actually black. That just sort of upsets me. But then what I find interesting is that the original flavor is discontinued. I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
The original flavor is gone. And that's why Takis Fuego is like the de facto original flavor. It's like so weird.
It's a little strange.
It's like you've got a team of it's like you've got a team of superheroes, right? And then like the original one, like the team leader dies.
Yeah.
And so then it's like the next character that like takes the helm, and it's like, ooh, what's gonna happen, right? It's interesting. So that's weird. I wonder why they would discontinue their original flavor.
So it may be true that these are all discontinued, but some of these might only be discontinued in the U.S. is my think on U.S. market.
Okay.
So it might be true that Taki's Original is still sold like only in Mexico, only domestically. On the official Wikipedia page, the only two flavors that are actually listed as being completely discontinued are Al Pastor and Black. So that leads me to believe that the other ones might be discontinued in America and other countries, but still sold in Mexico.
I would think that another possibility is that these are like seasonal things. Like, like at McDonald's, the McRib will like come in and out of existence, right? This makes me think that, say, like the zombie flavor, that's obviously a like Halloween, October type of marketing thing. So I'm guessing maybe not every October, but like every once in a while, October 1st, they'll pull out the zombie Takis and be like, maybe you want to buy some zombie Takis, and then they discontinue them after Halloween. That's like a sensible thing, I think, marketing wise. So that might be the case with some of these, that they're temporary.
Yeah.
I kind of want to try the BBQ ones.
Yeah, those are awesome.
The BBQ.
Yeah.
Like it looks like ribs.
Yeah.
I want to try that. So the discontinued flavors, it's interesting. Some of these I hope are like only partially discontinued. Some of these I hope it's like they're just discontinued right now because they're actually seasonal. Others of them I'm like, these don't really need to exist anymore, do they?
I would like to call everyone's attention to the gentleman sitting in row 1, column 5, Mr. Angry Burger. So Reed definitely did a review of this one. It is as green as it looks on the packaging. It is dill pickle flavored.
Yep. Let's just, I repeat, dill pickle flavored. Okay, that is not a good sign. That is never a good sign. Okay, dill pickles are fine when you have an actual dill pickle. All right. Now, I don't know if you've ever had dill pickle. The dill pickles are like these smaller pickles, and I always have them at this like Amish buffet restaurant nearby. That's where they always have them. So the actual dill pickles are like good. They're like kind of sweet, sort of, right? And it's like, this is good. But there are some things that I'm like, this should never be an artificial flavor, just because it's always sort of bad when it's an artificial flavor. And I think dill pickle has to be chief among them.
This flavor promised to taste like a hamburger with pickles. Okay, so they're also hamburger flavored.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, okay, so yeah, not great. Not great. And that's just... I don't want to pick something up that's called Angry Burger. Like,
yep.
I like burgers, but I don't want them to shout at me. You know, I don't need...
I don't want it to shout at me.
Like, I put hot sauce on a lot of things. I don't really put hot sauce on burgers. Like, I don't need burgers to be spicy. So that seems like an immediate clash of flavor.
I see on the bag it says text burger to 484848.
Wow, should we do that?
Should we? Do you want to do that?
Yeah,
this
is probably something from like, I don't even know, but yeah, go
whatever
ahead.
Year. Well, wait. This says flavor challenge. Vote for your favorite, and you could win prizes. Oh, okay. So by sending burger to 484848, you're saying burger is your favorite one. So I think that's the mechanism here.
Can we revive Angry Burger?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, 484848.
I would advise everyone watching at home to do the exact same.
Let's see what happens. Okay. Wait. Thank you for joining our list. We look forward to sending you upcoming specials. Reply stop burger to opt out. So if they start annoying me, I'm gonna text stop burger. But be advised, you're signing on to the like Taki phone number. So if you're texting them, yeah, no, I know. But sometimes they like spam you. But
it's true.
Just
thank you.
Viewer, be advised. Yeah, thank you for joining our list. We look forward to sending you upcoming specials.
Yes. Awesome.
Burger.
We're now a part.
We're now on the burger
club.
list.
We're on the burger list.
We're on the burger list.
Because we said Burger Takis is going to send a man to our houses and shoot us in the back of the head.
Jeez.
It's just a mechanism to weed out people that actually enjoy
the burger Takis.
Oh my god.
Hopefully not.
Alright, but anyways, yeah, a lot of them have been discontinued in America. Some for the best, some for the better, and some for the worst. I would have liked to have tried the BBQ ones. I would have liked to see what the extra hot ones had to offer. And the packaging for Cobra looks pretty cool, not gonna lie. Yeah, the Cobra one looks cool. I also feel like the lava one would be good, because it seems like it's like a sort of spicy queso kind of thing. I think that's what it was. Okay, so you see how Titan, Lava, and Angry Burger all have the vote and do that things?
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that Wild was part of that competition, and Wild won.
Wild won.
That's what was in my head.
That's fair.
That's what was in my head.
I think that's
as
fair.
It was part of a different subset. It won this challenge. So us texting Burger. Imagine Wild gets taken off shelves and replaced with Angry Burger as a result of the two votes.
Oh no, that's got to be like an "It's a Wonderful Life" type of situation.
Yeah.
Like you get taken around and it's like, look what you've done. Yeah. This is a world without Wild Takis, and you're like, no, what have I done?
I'm fairly certain Wild won this competition, and that's why it's like widely available in the US.
Let's see, Takis flavor competition.
That'd be my bet.
Oh wait, here it is, I think. From bustle.com in 2018. Takis just launched a dill pickle flavor in the Spice Factories, no joke. Let's see.
Yeah, if you scroll down and look at the image.
Yep. Okay.
Wild must have
Takis
won.
is rolling out 4 new, unusual, and inventive flavors for a limited time. Wild was one of them. So it was Titan, Wild, Angry Burger, and Lava. That was part of this competition. Competition's obviously over now. So yeah, there we go. We've just enlightened us. So
there we go. You learned something new.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
But yeah,
I would have liked to try the lava. I do like some spicy queso. That's the kind of thing I like. Yeah, before we move on, we have more chat. Adam Rudin says, yum, nacho, and zesty nacho. So.
Ooh. All right. So he would be a fan of the explosion, it looks like.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those are the flavors. I do like to see I like to see them doing this stuff. They are obviously, like, I would say their main competitors are Cheetos for spicy things, but they've kind of made it more about spice. Takis is like the spicy chip king, I guess.
Yeah.
But I like that they didn't just keep it as their one thing. Like, they're trying new things. And I like the competition idea.
Yeah.
Because I would bet if blind test I tried Wild, Titan, Lava, and Angry Burger, I would, die when we get to the Angry Burger. But I would like Wild the best out of those.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I like, again, that's another sort of marketing thing. It seems like they do very well with this, that they have these sort of marketing efforts to, like, gain more ground in the US. Competition, it's a classic marketing sort of thing. Like, you have the vote for the name of what we're going to name this boat, like Boaty McBoatface. Do you remember that?
I remember Boaty McBoatface.
Yeah, so that is very, very fun and interesting. So yeah, that's all the Takis flavors.
Yeah. So now we're on to some shapes, and this is where I'll start, or I'm going to open one of them. So there are 5 main shapes. Let me go to the presentation. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shapes. But one of them they just recently introduced. So I guess we'll go through that. But, we start with the most common one, the rolls. That's what's been on every single bag we've looked at on the front.
Yep.
That roll flavor, it's not exactly a stick. It's more like a tortilla that you just kind of put down and rolled up using your hands.
Yeah. Again, it's supposed to be like a taquito.
Yeah. Definitely my preferred flavor, or my preferred shape, rather. Although I do have another shape here with us that I will try here for the first time live on stream.
Nice.
But, I mean, I have always liked the flavor, flavor. I've always liked the shape of these. Very easy to grab. Not like, Pringles, I guess their downfall is that the tube is too small.
Yeah, the tube is difficult.
I can't get my hand down there.
Yep. And a difficulty with some chips, I find, is that, like, they don't quite fit in your mouth. Like, you have to, like, they're a bit too wide. I mean, it's kind of weird. But you sort of get, like, on the edges of your mouth, and it's like you get the crumbs or whatever, and that's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So seems like the sticks,
I like
or the nuts, the rolls are like a good sort of shape to have, because what makes sense about rolls is that it can be just exactly the same as a chip but rolled up, because sometimes you get chips, again, drawing on my knowledge of Doritos, you'll get like Doritos that are partially rolled up just because of however they make it in the factory. So these Takis just go for it. They say, yeah, let's roll it up.
A little while ago, Camilla sent me a link to where you can actually buy just the Takis powder. So if I just take some tortillas, roll them up, I can make my own Takis and see how well they turn out. Nice. That's a good idea. But we should try and make a video out of that. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, rolls, they're my preferred one. Again, the only one I've had, but I like them. If more chips were in the roll format, I would also like that. Yeah, I think I agree with that. But yeah, overall. All right, next one we got sticks. Is sticks with an X. With an X. And yeah,
I sort of object to this immediately in that this just seems like Cheetos, and I feel like their thing is like, we're not Cheetos. Like, not, I mean, that's not their thing, but I like it that they're like, we're not Cheetos, we're something different. Because, you know, Cheetos, I would say, how you said they're sort of in competition for who's the spiciest one.
Yeah.
I don't think Cheetos always used to be a spicy brand. I thought it's just
No,
supposed to
they're
be a
not. They're
typical
not.
cheesy snack.
They're not primarily a spicy brand. They
Yeah,
have a line,
a spicy
a
line,
spicy
but
line. Yeah,
mhm. But they're not like, that's not their focus, right?
that's not their thing. Their thing is
So
cheese.
yeah, so I'm kind of like, I'd prefer if Cheetos were to stay out of spice, and if Takis were to stay out of this sort of shape. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This sort of puffy kind of like, almost like, I don't even know what to call it, but it just, you know, the Cheetos like shape and texture. It's basically just Cheetos shaped Takis.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, it's a little peculiar.
Yeah, I don't like what they did to the ends. It's very similar to the rolls. I would prefer the rolls. That's what I have to say about that. Now on to waves. So what immediately comes to my mind is Ruffles chips. Whenever I see this shape, and that's what I have here for you guys. Takis waves with the upside down A. Right here. I know it's I think it's backwards for you guys, but you know, same shape. I always think of Ruffles chips, like I said. They got a lot going on here. They have the same like format for the design as the new Fuego, with like the actual flames going around it. I want to try these. This is what I'm going to open up. So this is my first, and I'll mute my mic through the OBS so it's not incredibly loud. Max, all right. I'm not muting myself on the Discord, so you'll have to.
Yeah, it's fine.
Suffer.
I'll get to hear the ASMR Ruffles eating. Right. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right, and I should be back on the OBS. Immediately, my very first thought is, where is the powder? It looks, I don't know how well you guys can tell, but it looks like there is almost no powder on these things. Like, when you open up Takis Fuego rolls, they are red. Those things would glow in the dark. They are red to the extreme. Take one of these out. That is, like, it's red, but it's not, like, drip, like, powder is not fallen off of this thing. It looks, like, lightly peppered in powder. Like, it's obviously kind of dyed red from being in the bag, but
yeah, I
don't know, maybe it's the way the light's hitting it. When I shine the light, like, directly onto it, my lights are up there, it looks almost white. So same general flavor as the Fuego.
Would you say less spicy?
It's less present. It's definitely the exact same flavor. It's just less present.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it looks like these are not optimized for flavor, because with rolls, I'm pretty sure what they do is they roll them into the spice. So the spice gets on the inside and coats the outside. It looks like these, they have less surface area, so they, they're underachievers. Not bad. I do like the Ruffles shape. I think it's pleasing. It's not too wide that you can't eat it horizontally, or if you, I don't know why you would eat chips vertically.
Oh God, yeah.
So I like the size. The size is definitely nice. That is a decent size for a chip right there. These do not seem to be broken that much. Like, there are a couple pieces here and there. So staying intact, that's very good. That's what Taki rolls are really good at. Those usually don't break. So it's
that makes
always
sense.
nice to see that these aren't breaking. Yeah.
Nice.
Again, and that's exactly what I expected. I would prefer the rolls to waves, but I would probably prefer waves to sticks. Just in that, it's pleasing to eat the Ruffles. You know, the texture of it is good.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I have to say
All
about
right.
that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Ruffles seems like sensible.
Yeah.
It's basically you just want to have a chip alternative.
Yeah.
Like that just makes logical sense. The next one I would say
Yeah,
is
this
somehow
is
worse.
ridiculous. This is
Man,
ridiculous.
even sticks.
Watts.
So it's basically ruffled sticks, if you think about it. They're supposed to look like lightning bolts, right? That's what the name Watts comes from. And of course it's WATZ instead of WATTS. But yeah, I'm just not a fan. These are just more Cheeto-like. It's just another Cheeto one. You know what I mean? Like Cheeto shape.
Yeah.
I'm just not a fan.
Definitely not a fan.
Like this is literally just Cheeto shape. At least the sticks one were like, since they're equally wide across the whole thing, it's like, okay, that's slightly different than a Cheeto. But this is just Cheeto shaped. It's like, I'll just go have Cheetos. I mean, unless here's the one market I can think of. Someone that likes the Cheetos consistency, but prefers the Taki flavor. So for that one guy out there, right, this is probably great, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, not a fan of this. I definitely feel like Takis have a superior shape to Cheetos. Doesn't make sense to me why they'd try and copy something that's lesser than it. Not a fan. I would say these are probably at the bottom of the barrel for me, to be honest.
Yeah. Then we get into some interesting ones, like actually
Takis Pop. I want to try this. I really do. This is Takis flavored popcorn.
It sounds interesting.
I remember going to the movie theater because the one near my house that we've both been to a lot, the big Bowtie cinemas. That started off. I think that's the single building that I've seen have the most renovations and like improvement over years.
Yeah.
You know, you remember how that
I remember that.
It was good. It wasn't great. They had one type of popcorn. You could get water or a soda, and you could get Hershey's, gummy bears, Lifesavers, or Milk Duds. I think those were the 4 candies. So they had 4 candies, just water or soda, and one flavor of popcorn, the regular flavor of popcorn. Then they introduced kettle corn. Then they introduced caramel corn and like candy corn, whatever that one is. I've never
caramel
tried.
corn is my favorite, I must say, in terms of just popcorn.
I've never had.
I love the caramel popcorn. Yeah, it's like kettle corn kind of.
Yeah, but
we always used to buy this like I always used to buy this like popcorn that was half caramel corn mixed with half like cheesy popcorn, and I really just wanted the caramel ones. But begrudgingly, I'm like, okay, I'll take an equal mix of both because then otherwise I'll be left with just the cheesy ones at the end, you know what I mean? So it's like, all right, fine. I'll oblige. I'll comply. But yeah.
So just that movie theater got really just they upped it because now there's a bar. Now you can get pizza, you can get pretzels, you can get nachos. Excuse me. You can get like chicken, like just they, and then the seats themselves. Now they recline, and but anyway, that's not the point. It's just that is definitely the single, like the best example of an establishment like innovating over time that I've ever gotten to see. But I would definitely
Nice.
like to try Takis flavored popcorn. That seems great.
Yeah,
That's a great idea.
that is
I
interesting.
really support that.
Like it's also very unique. You don't see like Doritos flavored popcorn or
Yeah.
Cheetos flavored popcorn. Takis seems like they are the first to say, let's do a popcorn. Like, and that's one thing about Barcel is that they have won awards and are noted for their innovative like brand. Like they are very
Absolutely.
innovative in what they do
Absolutely.
as a company. And you can sort of see that already with just the marketing campaigns and like, you know, the branding, uh, like the way that they've been doing that, it sort of speaks to an innovative company. So the fact that they would try and make popcorn flavor, like that's just interesting. That is definitely fascinating. Like that's a very novel concept, and it makes me want to try it.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely do want to try that. And the
Yeah,
last one, and the newest addition to the Takis family, Takis hot nuts, and it's exactly what it sounds like. I'm pretty sure it's peanuts with
peanuts. Yeah.
in a shell of Takis flavor.
Hmm.
Um,
Oh, yeah, that's interesting.
yeah, you know what? I could see these going really hard. I could see these being really
Yeah.
good, especially the smoke and lime. Like the Fuego flavor, obviously it's incredible, but I think the combination of peanut and lime is kind of
Mm.
untapped because I've seen
Yeah.
I know what peanut and I know what lime tastes like. I've never had them together, but I have
Hmm.
a hunch that that might be really good.
Interesting.
I don't know what flair is, but
Yeah.
it seems really
That yeah,
interesting.
that is it does. Again, it's another interesting sort of product here because you know, people like peanuts and cashews and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Some people get like almonds and stuff. So, and people definitely also like the flavored ones. I know people like chocolate covered almonds, right? So, the sort of different kinds of nuts with like flavoring around them, that is a interesting sort of product. I'm not a big fan personally, but I mean, it does, again, it seems like an interesting thing that I would want to try. Um, I'm just not a fan of like peanuts and almonds in general, you know, but
Yeah.
I think I remember once I liked them. I haven't had them in a while though, so I might have changed on that, but yeah, that might be good again now. So I'll find out maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the last shape.
Yeah. Nutrition facts or lack thereof.
Yeah, nutrition. Exactly. So again, you know, you could call it a junk food or a snack food if you want to be more charitable. But we all understand going in that these foods aren't particularly high in nutritional value. But like, again, that's understood. Like, that's not the point, you know? But let's just go through it anyway, just as like an interesting thing. So, nutrition facts. So, this is Sebastian's bag that he held up earlier. This is a picture. We've got 140 calories per serving and 10 servings per container. So that whole bag that you have there is 1,400 servings in total. And it's 10 ounces. I don't know how that compares to other chips. I don't know if that's high or low. It seems kind of high to me, but I think that's just because this is actually like, that's a big bag compared to a bag of like Doritos. Doritos usually come in smaller bags. So that's just a personal like reference frame issue.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, be mindful of that. Is that like the average bag size that you'd see Takis come in? Like,
Yeah. You're either
are they
going to
usually?
see the 10-ounce bag or the 4-ounce bag.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Yeah. All right. So
Uh,
yeah, quite a bit of calories.
ooh, whoa, hold on. I just checked what sizes Fuego can come in, and apparently, so most of them just come in the 4-ounce or the 9.9 ounce, but it looks like Fuego comes in like a really small bag, the 3.2 ounce, which I've seen, a 4 ounce, the 9.9 ounce, but a 20 ounce and a 24.7 ounce.
Ooh. Oh, jeez.
Ounce Takis.
That's a lot of Takis.
Fiesta size.
Ah.
Oh
Party
my
size.
God! Yeah, 20 ounces. So what's the 24.7 ounce one called?
Yeah.
Party size. So Fiesta size and party size, and party size is bigger.
Interesting. Yeah. That's a weird branding decision.
But that's.
But yeah, so it is interesting when you go over nutrition, right? You've got 8 grams of fat, which doesn't seem like too much because it says 10% of daily value. Except, again, this is for one serving. So the whole bag is 100% of your daily value.
Yeah.
So this whole bag satisfies your whole daily value of fat, right? But it says 8 grams, and 2 grams of that is saturated fat. Saturated fat, if I remember correctly, is the bad one. It's saturated fat, and then trans fat is like even worse because it's like an artificial, like new sort of thing that didn't exist before. But it's like they always say to avoid the saturated fats and the trans fats. But in total, those two are only 2 grams out of these 8 grams, so that's only a quarter of it. The rest of it is polyunsaturated and monounsaturated fat, and that's the one that they say is better for you. Of course, again, not a nutritionist here. No cholesterol. That's nice. Lots of sodium, 410 milligrams, and that's 18% of your daily value. But of course, one serving is a tenth of this bag. So that whole bag that Sebastian has is 180% of your daily value of sodium. So that's not the best, I would say. That's pretty high in sodium. I think sodium, an excess of sodium has negative effects on blood pressure, right? It gives you high blood pressure, a lot of sodium.
Yep.
That's what I've heard about sodium.
Yes.
So be wary of that. Then you got total carbohydrate, 16 grams or 6% of your daily value. And again, times 10, 60% of your daily value. Again, this is a big bag. I wouldn't expect to see bags that are this large usually just with other chip brands. So maybe you can find a smaller bag of Takis. But yeah, total carbohydrate, 16 grams, dietary fiber, 1 gram, total sugar, 1 gram. So yeah, these are carbs. I mean, it makes sense. Carbs are probably like, it's a big part of most people's diets. But I guess it basically says not keto friendly if you're a keto diet person, right? Keto's the one that's just no carbs. I don't really know again, but
I think
keto is the one that says no carbs. So that's like no bread, no sugar.
Low carbohydrate diet. Yeah.
Okay. Because it makes you go into like ketosis or whatever, right? That's what the name comes from, which is like
low carb. Yeah.
A metabolism based on burning fat, I think, rather than carbohydrates. So it's one of those diets that you'll lose a lot of weight with. I think it's one of those weight loss diets, and apparently it's really good for you. So yeah, Takis are not keto friendly. And then finally, 2 grams of protein, just because everything has a bit of protein in it, right? But yeah. Then you've got a bit of calcium, a bit of potassium. So there you go. To be expected of like a snack food, not really the healthiest, I would say. I mean, compared to other snack foods, I'm not really sure because I haven't looked into it that well. But just among all foods, it's not the healthiest food. So again, I would stress Takis are good on occasion, right? Like everyone has junk food at some point or snack food, right?
Yeah, that was probably the unhealthiest week of my entire life was when I ate solely Takis for breakfast, because I also ate solely pizza for dinner. So lunch was the only meal I had that would actually be nutritious in value.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked horrible. Like, I'm sure if we go to the stream from that week, if I look back through the calendar, you can see that My skin is very not clear. I don't gain weight really, so it doesn't really affect me that way. But I was dehydrated. I had low energy, and just didn't feel great.
Yeah, no, I can feel that. I mean, sometimes when I'm eating something that like I know is not the healthiest, I can practically like feel like my skin getting greasier. I'm like, oh, this is not good. I'm gonna start breaking out. Right. So yeah, again, buyer beware. Keep that in mind, right? Not exactly a health food, but yeah. So then let's go over to the ingredients. We covered this before, but I'll just read this out again. So you got corn masa flour. I assume that's what they make the tortillas with, the chips themselves with. So that's like excluding the powder, just the chips. And it says in parentheses, processed with lime. So there's the lime comes in. You also have vegetable oil, which says palm and or soybean and or canola and or rice bran oil. So that just all fits under the umbrella of vegetable oil, which everyone probably has one of these in their house. I think I have canola oil. It's like olive oil or anything you would cook with. Then you've got seasoning, which includes salt. That's probably where all that sodium comes from. You've got maltodextrin. No idea what that is. Here, I'll look it up actually. Maltodextrin molecule. So it's an interesting sort of molecule. It's just it's another sort of, it's a hexagonal like carbon hexagons. You see that in a ton of different types of sugar, but it's also, it looks like it's a polymer. So it's many of those hexagonal units combined. I don't know how healthy it is. I don't imagine it's very healthy, but Then you've got citric acid, of course, and that is from citrus or lime. That adds to your lime flavor. Sugar, monosodium glutamate. I'm not quite sure what that is, but I guess it's more sodium. I'll look it up. Monosodium glutamate molecule. Okay, so it looks like it's a carbon chain with, it's like a ionic sort of substance. So you've got the carbon chain, and at the end you have a negative oxygen ion, and that attaches to a positive sodium ion. So that's another piece of the puzzle. Then you get hydrolyzed soy protein, which I imagine is just soybeans, soybean plants. That's pretty simple. It's just that plant. Onion powder, yeast extract. Those two things, again, are self-explanatory, onions and yeast. Then artificial color, and so that's to make it red. You've got, I think these are the names of the dyes. You have red 40 Lake and yellow 6 Lake. Then you have natural and artificial flavors. So again, that just makes sense. Baking soda, soybean oil, so that's more soy. Chili pepper, I think that's the VIP here, the chili pepper, right? And then disodium, wait, I gotta zoom out. Disodium inosinate. I'll look that up. Disodium inosinate molecule. So, okay, so that's interesting. It's like, it looks sort of like DNA a little bit. It looks like the base of DNA, like the helix part, like not the base pairs, but the helix part, the backbone. I'll just put a picture in because I can't really describe it, but I'll move this off to the side. That is right there. That is disodium inosinate, right? I have no idea the health factors of any of these. And then finally, you have disodium guanylate. My guess is that that's going to be similar, but it's going to be with like guanine instead of whatever inosinate is. Guanylate. Yeah, again, it's pretty similar. Let's see. Is there? I can't really see the difference here. Yeah, very minor difference. Just the placement of like nitrogen and stuff is slightly different. And then finally, we get to Tbhq, which is an antioxidant. I'll just look that up. Tbhq antioxidant. Okay, it's another molecule, carbon hexagon with, little tails coming off. That's how most organic molecules are. It's just a little carbon hexagon. But yeah, so that's it. And then at the bottom, they have the warning, I guess, in bold. It says, may contain milk, egg, and wheat. So that's, I guess, of particular importance. But yeah, so that's the ingredient list. They say, have you ever heard it said, like, you don't want to buy foods with words you can't pronounce, like in the ingredients list?
Yeah, I've heard that.
Like when I was younger, I heard that. But now I'm like, well, I can pronounce all these, like, that I couldn't pronounce before.
Yeah.
I'm like, because I'm always talking about like molecules and stuff, so I'm able to pronounce these. So yeah, that's the workaround. If you just learn to pronounce it, there you go. You can eat whatever you want. Yeah, so that's it. That's the nutritional information.
There you go. So over on to Taki's personality. Every bag has personality. Whether you vibe with that personality or not, that's up to you. Different people get along with different people. But so we brought up an alignment chart, and we used our best judgment to determine what would best fit into these 9 categories of this alignment chart that's from the D&D era. So we start with Takis Fuego, lawful good. Lawful good is going to be your best friend. They're the people that are trying to just do the best by the book. You got to bring them in by the book. That's what they'll say a lot. They'll follow the rules, but they'll always be on the side of good. Takis Fuego. They're the ones that are always there for you. They're by the book. They're the original. Or, they're at least the most widely spread. Yeah. So they're the baseline. The de facto, exactly. The status quo. Over on to Crunchy Fajita. Yeah, no, they're not. They are not your best friend. They are... They just don't do as much for you as lawful good does. But doesn't matter where, doesn't matter when, at the situation, they'll still be on the side of good. They're still solid, and they'll be there when you need them. Taki's wild, chaotic good, your other best friend that you don't bring out in public that often. Chaotic good is all about doing what's right and sometimes not the best ways. Taki's wild is that. It's exactly that. It's wild. It tries to get the best possible ending, but does so in some might be seen as unethical or immoral ways. It's the loose cannon. We go on to lawful neutral. Taki's waves. Yeah, not the most spice on them. Not all that, but they're still aligned with Taki's Fuego. So they're doing it by the book. But they're just not on the side of good as often because they have lost some of that powder. Let's talk about Taki Zombie for a quick second. Taki
it's
Zombie,
an interesting choice for neutral.
Because
I feel like it's more... Wait, didn't you say? I thought you said this is radical centrist, right? It's neutral because it's got aspects of very different things.
Yeah,
that
so
all sort of
the
average out.
flavor of Taki Zombie is habanero cucumber. Just
That's
different sides of the aisle, and I think they would cancel out.
Cucumber's very tame, and then habanero is very spicy.
So they're the wild card. It doesn't matter what situation they're in. They might be completely laid back, cucumber, or they might be all up on you, habanero. It might be good, it might be evil. They're the wild card, Taki Zombie. They're also as green as Angry Burger. Reed did a video on it. I don't know if you liked it. excuse me, Takis explosion. Takis explosion. Definitely not on the side of good, you know, but chaotic neutral. They're doing their own thing. They don't care about the rules. They want to live out their life in the way that they want to live out their life. And that's Takis explosion. You either like them or you don't. And that's where they are. The thing is that either way, they're going to keep doing exactly what they're doing. Takis Blue Heat. Lawful evil. Lawful evils are all about technicalities and are all about signing you into things that you just do not benefit from. Yeah, they're the same. Maker. They are the deal maker.
Like exactly. Silas.
Silas, exactly. They're the same flavor as Takis Fuego. So you're like, oh, okay, sure, I'll have some. But then they're blue, and now you're eating blue food. Food that looks like a Taki that was left under an underpass and has just gotten moldy, to be honest. But dang. Now you signed on to it. Now you have an open 10-ounce bag of Takis Blue Heat.
Oh, and no.
Did
you actually buy 10 ounces?
I bought 20 ounces because I have 2 of those bags.
Oh my god. Oh, that sucks.
They're lawful evil.
Oh yeah, when you first bought it, like with Zach, did you get a 10-ounce pack?
No, we got the small one.
Okay, that's good at least. You're like, okay, now I know what I'm getting into. Yep.
Takis Nitro, neutral evil. You don't know when they're showing up. You don't know where they'll be, but if they're there, they're evil. Doesn't matter about whether they follow the law or not. Whatever situation they're in, they're not going to be on the side of good. They're going to be against you. Takis Angry Burger, chaotic evil. They want to destroy society and tear down everything that we hold holy. They are the closest thing we have to the Antichrist. And Takis Angry Burger, if you look at trend lines for earthquakes, cataclysmic events of that nature, they all began with Angry Burger. Angry Burger was forged in the heart of a dying volcano. And, with luck, it'll stay buried. It'll stay discontinued. Or else we might have to journey to that dying volcano and cast it into the fire and destroy it.
Oh, yeah.
Once and for all.
Exactly. It's like, let's hope no one accidentally says the ancient incantations by texting burger to 484848. It's like, uh-oh.
But there you go. If you know where you stand on the alignment chart, I can't imagine anyone would put themselves like on the evil row of if they're throwing
where do I stand on the alignment chart?
Well, I'm just saying I can't imagine anyone would put themselves on the evil row.
Yeah. Well, because you always think that you're on the side of good.
Exactly.
Where would I put? I would probably put myself at lawful good then, because I really get uncomfortable when I'm breaking the rules, even if it like is in a situation that doesn't really matter. I don't know. It's sort of like an internal like anxiety. I'm like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this right now. Like,
Yeah, I got you.
But when it's a rule that doesn't really matter, but,
Yeah. Anywho, on to Sebastian's experiences.
Oh, yeah.
Are you switching out your headphones right now?
Yeah, I'm probably echoing, aren't I?
No, it's just your voice got like more bassy. I just noticed.
Okay. They ran out of battery. So what I will do is, these are your stories, so I'm just going to listen on.
Ooh, your mic cut out there. All right. Okay, now I'm echoing. I can't hear what you're saying at all. But I'll just go into the stories. All right, that's what I'll do. So these are my experiences with Takis. I got 2 stories for you. In addition to the one I shared before with me on the Taki shirt. But going into the first one, origins. When did I first try Takis? At the beginning of this, I said that I found them in freshman year of high school. That's true. I was in a photography class where the teacher did not care at all what we did. So I was sitting at a table, and one of the kids that I was pretty friendly with was eating a bag of Takis. Now, my school is largely made up of white people, and there is that stereotype that white people can't handle spice, a stereotype that I try and break on a daily basis by eating the hottest peppers on the planet. So, I see this guy eating Takis. He himself is black, and I'm like, I've never seen a white person eat Takis. And he's like, yeah, me neither. Would you like to be the first? And so he slides his bag of Takis across the table to me. I take a bite, and my universe changed. I started seeing the world through Takis tinted glasses. So, because our teacher didn't care, what we did is we just got up and we went to the vending machine that we had, and we just rated it for Takis. So I had like 2 or 3 bags, and I was just munching on them, and I fell in love. I fell in love with Takis. Every opportunity to get Takis, I would take, and you know, to this day, I love them. At one point, they were my favorite food on the planet. But there you go. That's the origins of my Taki love. Freshman year of high school. I believe that was the fall of, what year was that? If this is 2020, and that was
fall of
2018.
2018. Yeah.
That was the fall of 2018.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good story. I think that's funny. All right, so the next story.
Next one, Pavlovian conditioning. On the first stream that we did of Rento, I ate an entire bag of like the 10-ounce bag, and that was my first time ever eating the 10-ounce bag in one sitting. So now I've Pavlov myself into every time we play Rento, I get a craving for Takis. Whether we're streaming or not, anytime I see Rento, I hear the tinny music, and we're playing it. I see the busted up cards. My mouth immediately, it needs Takis.
Starts watering.
It does. It really does.
Taki. Nice. Yep. And when I got this image of it looks like a Shiba Inu, I think. Mm-hmm. Just like from Google. It made me think of a meme, and so I made a meme, which is on the next slide.
Oh, I gotta move me real quick. I gotta move us.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Sebastian when no Takis. Sebastian when halves Takis. Classic.
So.
But yeah.
Yeah, there you go on that one. And I believe that's it. I got a position or something.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Here, I'll just do this. Yeah. Takis, man, they're a great snack. And Barcel, yeah, I liked how you said it. They're an innovative group. They really are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thoroughly enjoy their products. I would, if I had Angry Burger in front of me, as horrific as it sounds, I would still want to try it. Because maybe they struck gold. No one knows.
Yeah. I just find it hilarious.
If any food company has a chance of striking gold, it is Barcel. Again, we're not sponsored. It's just Barcel is the best shot at it because they're just moving into new mediums with like nuts, popcorn. Nothing else does that,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean it's nice to get some like foreign brands that are like making their home in the American market. Mm-hmm. I mean, even though it's just Mexico, so it's like not really that foreign because it's just down south a little bit. But I like that. I always find an interest in sort of like foreign candy, right? I like the German like Kinder stuff that's like banned in the US because it's like a choking hazard or whatever. I find that entertaining. I think there's some good like Japanese candies too. So like I like seeing these like, sort of like, because when you think of foreign food, you think of like a well-prepared dish at like a restaurant, right?
Yeah.
But I also like to see the other side of things, like the snacky kind of stuff. Like, what would you get at a convenience store in X country? I find that interesting.
The best,
and so I like that we have Takis here.
Yeah, the best chocolate I ever had was given to me by Zach for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Christmas. It was this chocolate called Nordy. Was the chocolate? It's by the brand Phaser, and it's crafted in Finland. Finnish chocolate, and the two flavors he got me were, it was hazelnut and campsite coffee, and then there was a different one that he got me that I'm not seeing on the website right now, but
okay.
They were great. They were so good. Like, just taking the hazelnut and campsite coffee, like, on it, it's like, and this will transport you to the land, to the Finnish, like, forests, and you'll be camping there with your friends. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And I took a bite, and all of a sudden I'm around a campfire with 3 Finnish guys, and one of them was named Skull, and he looked at me and he's like, straw, and I'm like, what? And then I'm back in my kitchen, and that's dude, it was the best chocolate.
Project.
It was the best chocolate I've ever had by an exponential, like. Dang. Like, whatever scale it's on, like, it's at 1,000. The second best chocolate I've ever had is at 300. It is just, it is so goddamn good. I would recommend it to everyone watching if you like chocolate.
Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah,
I'm gonna try.
But yeah, exactly. That just demonstrates it. I mean, like, I like the untapped, international food markets. I find just like so fascinating. I want to get fast food from every country on the planet, It's just like, I don't care that it's not healthy. I think it's fun. But yeah, so Takis are now also an American brand, Barcel USA. So maybe this episode convinced you to try out a bag of Takis, or maybe it just made you feel very hungry, in which case I would recommend you go out and buy a bag of Takis. But yeah, so let's see if we have any more chat. Yep, okay. Barry Rudin says, that's a lot of flavors from a brand I never heard of until now. They're lucky you are doing this. Hours of free advertising for them.
Exactly. Takis should thank us. Give me a lifetime supply of Takis. I demand it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. That would be nice. But yeah, that being said, thank you everyone for watching.
Yeah, I'll make this deal.
Oh yeah.
Takis. Barcel, if you give me a lifetime supply of Takis, I will name my firstborn child Takis.
Wow. Go. An offer you cannot resist.
There you go.
So, yeah. Thank you guys all for watching. Thank you everyone for using the chat. We love to talk to you guys, answer your questions, and get the commentary. And yeah, thank you, Sebastian, for being my co-host as always, and sharing this passion you have for this amazing snack food. So yeah, we'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, end stream.